Articuno got buffed this season, and I have one for the Great League, so let's take a look at how good this Pokemon actually going to be. We're going to have Powder Snow on this Pokemon now, as well as I used an Medicham in order to get the Legacy move of Hurricane, which is going to be way better now. Before, this Pokemon was running the fast move of Ice Shard, which you only see really on Dugong, and it hasn't seen any play. Back in the day though, actually funnily enough, the Articuno had some play for quite a bit of time, especially in the Open Ultra League, so it could be that this Pokemon is especially good in that kind of meta, but also I do think that the non-shadow is going to be very likely better for a Pokemon like this that kind of relies more on the bulk, but it's going to be generally a very interesting Pokemon. There are not a lot of ice and flying type Pokemon, and especially not a lot of good ice and flying type Pokemon that can do something. The only one that currently comes to mind for me is going to be Delibird, which we showcased multiple times on this channel already for Christmas, but other than this, it's not really the best Pokemon. But now we're going to have here with the Articuno a very interesting ice type that has now a very solid fast move, and with that it's just so much more interesting. Alright, take a look at the team. We're going to have the Sazop of Quagsire, trying to cover up the fire type weakness as well as giving you coverage that also can hit other flying type Pokemon. With Stone Edge of course, that you're going to enjoy. Just generally speaking, the entire team can destroy flying type Pokemon. We have an ice type, we have an electric type, and we have a Pokemon with rock type coverage. So we're going to be fine against all of those flying type Pokemon. One of them, of course, Corviknight against us here is not going to enjoy our discharge too much here. They're going to go down. In comes the Shelgon, and I'm in a very good position in this battle. We're going to have the Mud Bomb coming through. I should be able to reach easily another one here as well. It looks like a CMP type. Maybe they're going to knock me out with the Twister now. Shelgon, of course, a video. Okay, I should have got the move off here. That's ridiculous. I don't know what happened there. You saw me clicking on it. It just didn't go through. If it's going to be meta ring now, then it's going to be a bit annoying because otherwise the Shelgon would have been on farm down range. I hope it just doesn't matter. But yeah, you saw my video already to watch a Shadow Shelgon most likely at this point. Very interesting Pokemon, very strong Pokemon, definitely something worth building. I want to take a look at the Annihilape as well, still with a low kick. There are other Pokemon though as well that I want to take a look at. There are a lot of Pokemon that kind of fun that got buffed this season that I'm interested in. But here we're going to see the Shelgon against the Articuno. I'm going to use a shield against the Twister. And I'm going to go for the full farm now, which luckily still works out. But it doesn't mean that we're going to be able to win this. But okay, it looks kind of good for us as we can now debuff the opponent's attack. They're going to let the move go, but they're going to be in farm down range. And we still win even with a lag. Okay, Diggersby against us is going to be very solid. We have the fast move damage and the charge move damage. They swap out into the Gastrodon. Arguably, the Diggersby would have been a better matchup for them compared to what this matchup is, because they have nothing to really hit me. A Diggersby at least had like Fire Punch to hit me back, which they reach faster than I can go for one move. But the way they played it is definitely not the way. If I was the opponent, had this very interesting team with two ground types already that both weak to grass type damage, I would definitely stay in there in the lead and go for Fire Punch and just then swap out still afterwards if you want to catch like a nice type move, but you're going to outspeed anyway, so like why not? And at this point the opponent has like around 60 to 70 energy, and they just let me go for all of those Aqua Tails for no real reason. They're not playing the best here for sure. Like that's something that you see immediately. I can let the move go, which just allows me to go into my Articuno again. They run dig on the Diggersby. That's all that you kind of need to know. This is the thing as well that kind of I find interesting in that kind of regard, that especially for newer players, the best thing you can do if you haven't had like as much experience in the Go Battle League yet, go onto PvP Poke and look the movesets up basically that you want to run. Whatever moveset is recommended, just go for that. Don't even think about it. Just go for whatever PvP Poke says. And in most of the cases, you're going to be better off doing that. Here, for example, like Dig is just not a good move. Like you have Scorching Sands, which is just a better ground type move for this Pokemon. Yeah, it's quite simple. Just go into PvP Poke and you're going to be able to definitely have better results with those movesets there. It's honestly one of the biggest concerns that I hear, like a lot of complaints just generally from players who are not really experienced about like, okay, why is the opponent getting so much faster than the moves? Why is my Pokemon not doing X, Y, Z, even though I have like the top Pokemon from that league? It's most of the time because the moveset isn't right, and that's something that I've seen definitely multiple times already. For this team, actually very difficult, it's going to be Slowbro. Luckily, I was able to just land a Hurricane, which is going to be, of course, very important for us. But now we are going to be able to go for the Mud Bomb against them as well here. This is going to... up against, of course, normal Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk. Never mind, it's Galarian. This is Unovan against Galarian Stunfisk. Galarian Stunfisk got buffed this season. Definitely something I want to still take a look at. It's a Pokemon that was very solid prior, but then completely disappeared because it got nerfed 3 times, and now it's only nerfed, I think, 1.5 times. Like, Earthquake is still nerfed, and then I think Rockset is still a little bit weaker than it was before, but it's better now again because they buffed it again. I don't know. It might be even that Rockset is back to normal. I'm not too sure on what it was directly before, but I know that Rockset was one of the stronger moves in the game. Then got nerfed quite heavily, and now it got buffed again, so don't know where it is, but at this point we are going to be able to win against this opponent here as far as I can see that, because they have Slowbro, but I can play it quite well. My backline was actually just very good against their backline, which was the main reason why I won this battle here now. Yeah, Slowbro, a very interesting Pokemon I talked about already. I think this is a team from my top team video as well. Doesn't mean that this team is really bad or anything like this. My backline was just perfect aligned against the opponents. And even with that, it's going to be kind of a bit more difficult here as the Earthquake comes through. We have the Aqua Tail still coming in though, and we are going to be able to win this battle. Good game to the opponent, and we can move on to the next one. We will face off against Hank PG. We're going to have the Torterra in the lead, of course, perfect lead for ourselves, and they forfeit. Why do they forfeit? A lot of times they forfeit because they run Turkis up with Torterra in the lead. And if you face an Ice type in the lead, which is super rare, that's why I also running Articuno there in the lead, because people are not prepared, you just kind of have no chance. Like, if you encounter something like an Articuno, you really don't have a good chance there. And here we're going to have Empoleon against us. They're going to get to another move, but I can align ourselves. We can align ourselves here by just going for a shield, farm them down with a Thunder Shock. And we will see here as well that the opponent is going to be able to... Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to go into their Shell Gun. I can go for at least 1, maybe even 2 Mud Bombs, which is going to do some solid damage against them. And if I am going to be able to reach another one here, which I can, I put them to farmland range even for my Articuno, which then will allow me in, like, yeah, later on maybe to debuff whatever they have in the back. And so I'm going to go back into the Articuno, trying to go for the full farm down. We're going to use a shield here early on, hopefully for a Flamethrower. It is a Flamethrower, so energy is kind of wasted. And they're going to go into the Fortress, where I can now retaliate with the Quagsire. I've seen more Fortress with a Volt Switch, even though it's not recommended, compared to the one without. I think the video is already out. It's definitely out already. At this point, even while recording, it's already out, where I had the Volt Switch Fortress already as well in the team where I went 12-0. I never lost with the team so far. Definitely check it out as well. That was out yesterday, then most likely when you watch this video. So yeah, definitely a very interesting thing to see that Fortress with Bug Bite, which is actually recommended, isn't as common as other ones. Here, we are going to be able to knock them out there. The Fortress comes back in. They're going to be able to knock out our Articuno, but they're going to kind of waste all their energy, and with that, I can go for the Aqua Tail, go for the Stone Edge, doesn't really matter. We knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. We have the Medicham against us in Elite. Interesting. This is going to be a very interesting matchup generally, because what we see here is that we can go for a shield, that's fine. This is going to be the Dynamic Punch coming through from the opponent, and we have the Ice Event. This is generally not the worst matchup for us, because what we have is we have the advantage of our fast move doing more damage than their fast move. Their fast move got buffed this season, of course, with a Psycho Cut, but now with the debuffs, we actually put them into a position where we can win this in a lost shield scenario. But they catch it perfectly here onto their Stunfisk. My Hurricane, which now did basically no damage, and now I'm a bit of a worse position here, as now I am forced to go for the Aqua Tail, hope the shield. They do not shield, they still go for their move, and I'm going to be forced to use a shield now against the Earthquake, which is not ideal. I'm not in a good spot here at all, but I get a ton of energy. The energy can be still helpful, but I'm not in the best position. They swap out into the Noctowl. That's not bad. Especially as I swap out here right now into the Medicham to catch the move. That didn't work out because I go for the Aqua Tail. I can swap out into my Articuno, force them to go for their charge move here straight away, which is very likely just the Ice Punch, exactly. But now I'm still going to have the energy on my Quagsire. I'm going to be able to farm them down. I still so have this hit. The Medicham doesn't have the firepower needed to knock out a Quagsire from this range. And now I just have Aqua Tail, Stone Edge, and an Electric type Pokemon in the back. So I won. Like, I honestly just won this battle. There's nothing they can do. This battle sadly still goes for a bit of a while here because the opponent just cannot see that I won this battle apparently. So yeah, how was your day so far? Let me know down below in the comment section. Would be very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Like, for me, it's currently evening, the day before you are watching this one. Trying to record this video a bit early because I'm busy. So yeah, great. Finally the opponent realized, okay, maybe this game is over. maybe we still don't really realize it here either because the discharge is coming in now. This is going to allow us to knock them out and yeah, move on to the next opponent. Shadow Annihilape here against us is going to be okay as well. We're going to have the fast move, of course, of low kick now. I think it's low kick that got buffed. Rachel's coming through. Yeah, Annihilape is actually one of the Pokemon that I expect to be super common as well in the Show 6 Pick 3 format with this new fast move. It's just gonna make this Pokemon so much more, like, more dynamic, which is, I think, kind of helping this Pokemon out quite a bit. Because they already have an amazing typing with Fighting and Ghost. They have a lot of good resistances and also a lot of targets they can kind of hit with the double stab moves on this Pokemon with Close Combat and Rage Twist now. So like I think it's a very, very cool Pokemon generally, and I feel like the buff definitely helped out quite a bit here. But I don't know if it really needed that one because it was already quite a strong Pokemon prior. But as you're gonna see, we're going to have, you know, the Octets coming through. I actually missed a few bubbles there. And I can go into my Articuno to go for the full farm down, leaving me with needing enough energy to go for another charge move here, which I am not going to be able to do. But at the end of the day, I have now the charge bug up against our Stunfisk. This is fine. I resist the fast moves like quadruple, basically. Like we double resist with the... It's like triple resistance then? I think that's kind of what... I think it's triple resistance then. Because we double resist with the ground typing and single resist with the electric typing. So they don't have damage with their fast move, which is one of the main ways of this Pokemon doing damage as... Yeah, it has a Volt Switch, which is one of the hardest hitting fast moves, but it doesn't do any damage against us. So we're in a very solid position here. The Mud Bomb is coming in. I could still try to catch the move here, or just knock them out with the Aqua Tail, which I will take as well. Thank you very much. Goodbye there. And the back is going to be the Annihilape, which is still going to go down to the cracks, I want to say, but it doesn't. And that makes it a bit more scary. But you saw that I tanked up a bit more energy here as well, and we're going to lose. Rage Twist is so fast on this Pokemon. It is wild. Okay, Medicham against us again. That's fine. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for a shield. That's okay for me. And with it, we should be in a position where I can just go for the Icy Wind. The Icy Wind is coming through now. This is going to allow us to get the shield. And we are going to be able to now go for our own shield. This is, yeah, Dynamic Punch. It's okay. And the sub out into the Drapion. That's kind of what I wanted to see here. I want to kind of get out this Pokemon here as well. I can debuff them, which is perfect because we're actually going to get the shield. And now in hindsight, I maybe should have wanted to my Stunfisk. Of course, Stunfisk is going to be weak to the Aqua Tail, but it does... we have more charge move pressure against this Pokemon with Mud Bomb compared to the Aqua Tail here. So, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much, does it? We might be even able to just go for the full farm down. Crunch is coming in here. We are forced to go for a charge move. That's fine. But we will be able to align ourselves with that here. This is going to knock them out. And now in comes again the Medicham. We have energy on our Articuno, but not enough. But actually, we're going to be able to reach that move in time, which is perfect. We're going to get the debuff early on here with the Icy Wind against now the Dynamic Punch coming in. And I can swap out straight away into my Stunfisk. Hope that is going to be a good matchup for my Pokemon in the back. It's going to be the Azumarill, where I'm not too sure if it is a good matchup. If they have Hydro Pump, they might be able to one-shot me. If they just have Ice Beam, they need to go for 2 moves in order to knock me out. But I need to go for 3 moves, but I generate energy faster and I need less energy. So... I'm not too sure here. Ice Beam is coming in. So they don't have Hydro Pump, which is amazing because Hydro Pump would have knocked me out here. And this Discharge is coming in. And I am going to be able to still reach another Discharge in time and knocking out the Azumarill. With that, we are going to be able to win this battle. As there's not a lot that the opponent can really do here. We can try our best to go for another farm on here with the Articuno, knock them out. And we can move on now to the next one. Where we have the Malamar against our Articuno, we are going to be able to go for the Icy Wind against the opponent. And we can shield up the move here as well, which is fine. The superpowers coming through. We are going to be able to take this hit now after the debuff as well, but they're going to use the shield as well, and they swap out into the Lickilicky, doing double super effective fast move damage. I have to, of course, swap out straight away here into my ground type. Shadow Ball still going to sting. It's going to 2-shot us. So maybe I should have went to my Stunfisk, which I don't think gonna get 2-shot at all there. But I wasn't too sure which Pokemon was better here to use in this matchup. I can go for another Aqua Tail. I'm in the right spot though still, because this is going to do some solid damage. And then I was super low, and maybe even low enough that I can farm down with the Articuno. That could be a play. They go for the Body Slam. Okay, I don't even need to rely on that. Now the opponent gonna knock me out with another Body Slam, and now they're definitely in farm down range for my Articuno. So I'm just gonna go in this one. I take another rollout, that's fine, but I have a ton of energy, and they swap out into the Azumarill. I have the Hurricane. Hurricane is fine. Hurricane is going to do a lot of damage, but if their shield's going to be tough, they don't shield. This puts them into discharge range. In comes the Malamar again, and Malamar is going to be a Pokemon here where they have to kind of go for the harder hitting moves in order to do anything. As we will see, we're going to have the charge move coming through. This is going to be the discharge. It is not going to do enough. We're going to be able to go for another charge move here against the opponent as well. This is going to be another discharge. We're going to do enough damage now, and now it's the Azumarill against us. And we are in a perfect position to win this battle. I'm using my shields here, of course, against the opponent's Azumarill. Ice Beam is coming in. I can go for the discharge. I go for perfect timing. And now actually have a very safe play to win. If they would shield this, I could just swap out into the Articuno. But that doesn't really matter because I don't shield. Final battle for this video, we're going to take a look here now at another Lickilicky swapping in. We have the Quagsire trying to retaliate. We have the Tail, which is going to be our best stab move. And we will see on what is going to happen now. We have here now the charge move coming through from our Quagsire. The Tail is going to land. Again, we saw that 2 are not going to be enough. We need to have at least 3 landing against the opponent. And this is now going to be a Shadow Ball landing against us. We can try to go for the Stone Edge if I wanted to. And I go for the Stone Edge with quite a lot of extra energy here. This would knock them out and does knock them out. In comes Annihilape, and now we can hit them with some Awkward Tails. Getting some damage in is kind of important here. Just trying to whittle them down. We go for another Awkward Tail. This is perfect, as now they are going to be in a position where they're forced to use a shield. I can stop out into my Articuno. We're close to another charge move. They stop out into their Steelix. And I'm in a position now where I have 2 good answers against Steelix in the back. But I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to win against this Annihilape. We're going to let the move go. My best hope here is that they would shield up their Steelix now and try to farm me down. This would be ideal for me as they're double debuffed then. But they don't do that. We are going to knock them out. And it's now down to Annihilape against basically 2 of my Pokemon. But they have a ton of energy. I know this first one is going to be a Rage Fist, no point of shielding this one. And now it's a guessing game. Can we survive a boosted close combat from a non-Shadow Annihilape? Or is it just going to be another Rage Fist? It's close combat, we still survive. But can we go for 2 charge moves? The other question here. Can we farm them down with the fast move damage that we have? Let's find out. We are going to be able to reach still another charge move here. Double discharge is the play. And we're going to be able to knock them out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.